Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to break down 3 roles that, honestly, we all play at work: leading, managing, and following. We're going to use nursing as our main example to see how these roles all connect and overlap, and I think by the end of this, you're going to see your own job in a totally different way.
So let's start with something I think we've all experienced. You know that feeling of disconnect? Like a manager who's amazing at spreadsheets but can't motivate a fly? Or that brilliant coworker who has amazing ideas but can't seem to get anyone on board? Well, that confusion comes from mixing up these different roles. And that's exactly what we're here to clear up today.
All right, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to tackle that classic confusion between leaders and managers. Then, we'll get into the different flavors of leadership, because it's not just one thing. After that, we're going to shine a spotlight on the real MVP of any team, the follower. Then we'll get practical and look at what managers actually do. And finally, we'll bring it all home and show you how we're all constantly switching between these 3 hats.
Okay, let's dive right in with Section 1 and get this sorted out. We throw the words leader and manager around like they're the same thing, but they are fundamentally different.
A leader, at their core, persuades and inspires. They build connections and get everyone on the same page using people skills. A manager, though, is given formal authority by the company. Their job is to direct people and resources. And this is so key. It means you can be a manager without really being a leader, and even more importantly, you can be a leader without being a manager at all. One is about your title, the other is all about your influence. So, formal leadership. This is the one we all recognize. It comes with the job title, right? Think of a department head or a nurse manager. Their position itself gives them the authority to assign tasks and make the final call. That's formal leadership, and it's backed up by the whole organization.
But here's the thing, you absolutely do not need a title to be a leader. Informal leaders just happen. They're the people on the team who influence everyone else because they're experts, they're passionate, and they just have a knack for bringing people together. I bet someone in your own workplace just popped into your head, right?
Okay, so now that we've kind of pulled leadership and management apart, let's zoom in on leadership itself. Because it's not this one single thing. It's actually a whole spectrum of different styles, and each one has its own place.
First up, we've got transactional leadership. You can think of this as a straightforward deal. In a hospital, it might be the charge nurse making sure all the shifts are covered and the work gets done, and in return, the staff gets a predictable schedule and their paycheck. It's practical, it's efficient, and it keeps the wheels turning. Transformational leadership, on the other hand, is playing a whole different game. This is the leader who doesn't just manage the day-to-day. They inspire the entire team to get excited about a brand new way of caring for patients. They motivate people to go way beyond their job description because they believe in a shared cause.
And this quote, wow, it just perfectly captures another really powerful style, servant leadership. What I love about this is that it flips the whole power dynamic upside down. The main driver for this kind of leader isn't to be in charge, it's to serve the team's needs first.
So what makes these leaders tick? Well, it's this really powerful mix of traits. They have empathy, so they can actually understand what their team needs. They have awareness of themselves and the team, which helps them handle tricky situations. And they use persuasion, not orders, to guide people, which builds a ton of trust.
All right, let's move on to a concept that is so often overlooked, but is absolutely 100% critical for any team or organization to actually work. Let's talk about followership.
Just think about it for a second. It's not a great vision. It's not charisma. It's not even authority. Without this one thing, a so-called leader is really just a person out for a walk all by themselves.
Yep, followers. A leader literally cannot exist without them. This completely reframes followership, doesn't it? It's not a passive or weak role. It's a conscious choice and a critical skill. A great follower makes a great leader possible.
So this is the really crucial part. Being a great follower is not about just blindly doing what you're told. It means you're an active participant. It means you take initiative, you support good ideas, and, this is a big one, you have the guts to question bad ideas and push back when something isn't right. It's about being a real partner in success.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about leadership and followership. Let's get back to the practical side of things. What does a manager actually do all day? Well, it really boils down to 4 main jobs. This 4-step process is pretty much the operating system for any manager. And what's cool is that it's a constant loop. You plan, that's setting the destination. You organize, you pack the car and get the right people in the right seats. You direct, you're actually driving and navigating. And you control, you're checking the map and the gas gauge to make sure you're still on track. You need every single step to get where you're going.
Now, for the fun part, let's pull everything we've talked about together and see how these roles aren't really job titles. They're more like hats. Fluid hats that we're all putting on and taking off all day long.
Okay, so picture a staff nurse. When she's coordinating the tasks for the team to make sure a patient gets the right care at the right time, she's wearing the manager hat. She's organizing resources and directing her team to hit a very specific goal. But then, maybe that same nurse sees a flaw in how things are done, and she comes up with a better idea and persuades her coworkers to try it. Right there, she's taken off the manager hat and put on the leader hat. She doesn't have any formal power to force the change, but she's making it happen through her influence.
And then, just moments later, that same nurse is in a procedure, expertly helping a physician. Now, she's a follower. And this isn't just passively taking orders. This is active, skilled participation. She's anticipating what the doctor needs and using her expertise to make sure the team succeeds. So here's the big takeaway from all of this. Leading, managing, and following, they aren't people, they're actions. They're hats that we switch between constantly. And the real skill is knowing which hat to wear in which situation. Just thinking about this can make you so much more effective no matter what your job title is. So as you finish up your day, just ask yourself, which hat am